Hello everyone, welcome to Close Up on America's Business, the program that takes you inside some of the most unique and successful companies in America. I'm Janice Marie. On each edition of our show, you have the opportunity to meet some of the most innovative business leaders in the country today. You'll find out what their products, services, technologies, and business models can do for you, and what they're doing to change our world and to change the way we do business.
A very interesting phenomenon is taking place all across the country these days when it comes to the subject of having one's dream home. Because now, more often than not, most people will tell you their dream home must contain a theater. Just like this, a room where they can go to watch television or their favorite movies on DVDs, conveniently stored behind the wall, like that. In other words, a room where they can have a true theatrical experience. And those who have them will tell you the home theater has become the most popular room in the house. Amazingly, you don't have to wait to build your dream home. You can put a theater in your existing home. And to find out more about the process, we have come to consult with one of the nation's leading experts in the field of design and installation of home theaters. He is the president of a Merrick, Long Island-based company named AcousticSmart. His name is Richard Charschan.
AcousticSmart is basically a theater design contracting firm, and we're also a manufacturer. We make these seats. These are seats we're very proud of. These are the only seats in the industry that have dual motors and steel tubular frames, and they're made so that your head is always looking at the screen. It's not looking at the ceiling, it's looking right at the screen. And when you recline back, you can do the foot separately. So you have total control over the mechanism, which is something that's unheard of.
The best part about watching a movie is reclining back when you're watching it. It's very comfortable to do, and when there's a snowstorm or when the weather doesn't cooperate with going outside, all my friends know to come here to watch movies, and it's a lot of fun.
And the other thing is we can make them into wall huggers, which means we can put them right up against the wall, make a cinema sofa that's as big as you want, either 10 miles long or 4 feet wide, whatever you want to do. Have them all recline. And the advantage to that is that you can have a couple of rows of seats and not be so close to your screen.
We love the chairs. The chairs are great. Great setting. They made it really nice.
People come over to my house on a regular basis, and all they do is rave. Their jaws drop when they walk in here, and I sort of sit in this room, and I watch football games and basketball games, and I can't believe that this is actually part of my house and that I'm here with this superior theater.
We love this room. We bring people here. We eat dinner upstairs. We come down. We watch a movie. We discuss the movie. The kids come into the room with their friends. Sometimes when I just need a little time alone, I come down by myself. Every week I buy a few new movies to put in to the system, which is great.
We do full sightline studies, so we make sure everybody has a perfect seat in the house. And if you notice in back of me, you have 3 tiers here. We have a cinema sofa in the back, and we have some love seats back here. And everybody can see a perfect view of the screen. We want to see how big that screen is in back here. Is it too big or is it too small? What's going to give them the best satisfaction in this theater that we're building for them?
The quality of the theater, when guests come to the house, they are astonished before we turn it on and then after it's actually going.
And everybody who works for me loves what they do. They're all passionate about it, and they all have a love for theater, and they all have a love for sound.
Came with booties on their feet. They were clean, and they were neat, and they were polite, and it's a wonderful company, AcousticSmart, and I really would recommend them.
I hate going to the movie theater outside the house because I can't recline in the movie theater outside. In my own house, I could lay back, I get comfortable, I adjust the seat the way I want it. Just the most unbelievable project that we ever did. This room makes me so happy. I can't even express it.
What do you mean when you refer to the word acoustic?
The acoustics play a really big part. The reason being is because without the acoustics inside the theater, it would be basically like a large ping pong room where the sound would just echo and ping pong all over the place.
When we close the doors to this theater and dim the lights and turn on the projector, I'm at the theater.
The sounds were all around the theater, each musical instrument in a different spot in the theater, making it as if we were in a front row seat at one of their concerts.
And when you put the acoustic treatment in, all of a sudden, every little nuance, every single detail of the sound is enhanced to the point where it's really an experience. Not just that, if you went into every other room in the house and then came into this room, you were just blown away by how quiet it is and how soothing it is in here because of the acoustic treatment. There's no way that you can get that just by having a plain room with a screen in somebody's living room.
The sound is brilliant, is wonderful. When the lights are out and you're watching the movie, you could be there. Action scenes are like nothing you could possibly imagine. We even went so far as to take what are called bass shakers and put them under the seats, so that when the aliens come and blow up the White House, you feel your seat shakes. When you're watching a concert, you feel the drums going. It's a remarkable experience.
We've been known to handle the whole contracting from soup to nuts. A lot of my clients are very high profile, so they don't want to be bothered with when is the electrician coming, when is this guy coming. In this room, we built the platforms, we did the woodwork, we did the electric, we did the sconces, we did the motorized drapes, we did the fiber optic ceiling. We did everything that you see here. We did the custom speaker grills. We also isolated the room for acoustics, which we put a noise barrier all around the room to blanket the room so you can crank it up and it won't go out throughout the whole house.
You know, obviously you're in a business where you have a lot of competition, but let me just put it to you very bluntly. What do you think it is that makes AcousticSmart so special?
We are not like a lot of the other companies out there. We do not want to take on the whole world. We want to concentrate in certain areas and do it right. A lot of the other companies that are out there, they take on too much, and because of that, their product suffers and their detail suffers. If there's a problem, I can go back to the shop, I can fix something, and the client is happier, the quality is better, we can take more chances, do things that are more interesting. I need to be involved so we're closer to the magic, so we know what's happening.
All my friends love coming here, and they just go, "This is your room?"
How does it work? If somebody decides they want to have a theater in their house, they come to you. What's the process that you go through with them?
We'll meet with the client, and we'll say, what's your inspiration? What do you want to do? We also have 8 pre-designed theaters. These 8 pre-designed theaters make it really easy. The room spins around, the curtain opens, you see the fiber optic ceilings, and you say to the client, what theater would you like me to build for you? I mean, how much easier can it get than that?
I had an idea, a concept of what I actually wanted, but I didn't know where to begin. So AcousticSmart had this way of doing it with a virtual image. They actually measured my room and gave me a virtual image on a computer. And I could change the walls, I could change how many seats I had, I could change the texture of the walls, the fabrics of the walls, the fabrics of the seats, the color, the carpeting. And it would all be there in this virtual image, so I could make the changes I wanted without the expense, without the time of doing it and saying, gee, I made a mistake. That should have been this way, this should have been that way. It was all there in front of me.
And that's how we do it. And if they want something custom, we normally take a deposit. And with that deposit, they get 3D rendering with virtual tours, so they can actually see what their room looks like, walk around their room on a computer and see what the ceiling looks like, what the walls look like. It's incredible.
Where are most of these rooms, theaters that is, built in the homes?
I've had clients who will only buy a house if they have a room for the theater. They'll actually, this is their 3rd theater, and they're buying the house based on where they're going to put the theater. And if they don't have a good theater room area, they're not buying the house.
We weren't even sure where we were going to put it, and they helped us even at the point figure out where in the house we were going to put a home theater, because we were interested. Our kids are getting a little older, and I wanted to come up at least with something that they could have in the house where my children would at least be in the house with their friends as opposed to them going outside of the house.
But most of the time when we do a theater, it's in the basement. The reason why you want to do it in the basement is because it's the most cost-effective way to do it. Meaning, if you have a family you want to try to keep that room soundproofed somewhat so it won't go throughout the house. If you have it upstairs or if you have it right in the den, it's always harder to do that. It's always much more costly. I would rather take the extra money and put it into the interior of the room. If you have it in your basement, it's easier to get the HVAC equipment, the air conditioning equipment into the theater. There's usually a couple of outside walls. It's just better. And not only that, you can make it into a whole experience. I mean, you can have movie posters in the entrance to the theater. You can have a whole game room with a bubble dome, hockey machine, pinball machines, and the theater's just the icing on the cake.
They were so thorough and asked questions as to where we wanted things to go and how we wanted the room to look. And I always felt that if I had a question, I could just pick up the phone and call them, and they were very, very easy to deal with. It was kind of sad when the job was over. We all became very, very friendly. Every detail was done perfectly.
We're not looking to be the cheapest, we're not looking to be the most expensive. We're definitely right in the middle.
What do you see for the future of this business as you look down the road ahead?
The theater business is becoming the new custom kitchen.
My husband and I invested in a home theater because it's a room we can use all year round. We use it more than our in-ground pool, we use it more than our dining room, we use it more than our library. It's a room where our children bring their friends and we entertain in this room, and it was a very wise investment.
This room, to me, is the best thing that we have ever done. I will never leave this house.
Richard Charschan, the president of AcousticSmart, with offices in Long Island and also in Los Angeles, who's giving homeowners the opportunity to have their dreams come true with a home theater, complete with surround sound, popcorn, and shooting stars across the ceiling. I'll tell you, it doesn't get any better than this. I'm Doug Llewelyn reporting from Merrick, Long Island.
Well, that does it for this edition of Close Up on America's Business. I'm Janice Marie. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.